Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What was that one?
Hello.
Good. Introduction, who we got?
Welcome, everyone.
We're all good here? Anybody on the?
Everybody knows everybody? No one online.
Nobody online. Okay.
Just one addition, the computers for the highway department and the constables.
Okay.
And the deletion, which is the retyped slag policy. So
Okay.
sorry. Didn't get to that. But I will next time, so something to look forward to. And the minutes that need approving are from May 16th.
I'll move to approve those. I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Rose and Judy.
Thank you, Chairman Beecher and Board. We're back. Ooh. I know. So I updated Bob 10 days ago, I guess. Green Mountain Power will not cost share on the trees that need to come down at the old cemetery. It's not an imminent threat as far as they're concerned, and it's beyond their 10-foot right-of-way. So I kind of handed it off to Bob. We're gonna, at some point, I wasn't available during that 10-day period to get together with him, just so he knows exactly where they are, and he's gonna do some further investigating into that. Our next question, that is something new that when we did the walkthrough upstairs, we noted it but didn't write it down. Quite some time ago, people of the community and the Historical Society donated money for that vintage style lighting, and it's not been put up yet. And I know probably because you're waiting on some of the plaster work. But my question and our committee question is there some way that you could see putting that up before our event, and then it would have really nice lighting in there and not be bare bulbs? So we wondered what you thought about that. And then the last thing was if there was, how we're coming on the AC. I know you thought it was going to be in by July 1st, so we're just kind of being the squeaky wheel. Thank you.
Okay, as far as the AC goes, he planned on putting it in the middle of June at some point. I will be talking with him this weekend upcoming. He's doing a job at work, so
Okay.
I don't know if he's had a chance to come and do any maintenance on this other one. Have anyone heard?
I haven't heard anything.
I'll have to nudge him on that and then just make sure we're still on track. So.
Great.
The lighting, anybody wanna look into the lighting?
I don't know anything about that, but do we have it stored somewhere?
It's up on the stage.
So
what
The
really
lighting's
needs to
been
be?
purchased, and there's ceiling lighting and wall sconces as well.
It just has to be installed.
Yes, as far as I know. Do you?
So by replacing bulbs or by running
No, just
wiring?
replacing the fixture.
Replacing the fixtures, but the fixtures are there.
Mhm.
Fixtures can be removed, new fixtures installed,
Mhm.
and it should be a one-to-one thing.
In theory.
Yeah.
And those same LED lights could be used.
I haven't looked at it. I wasn't,
Because the
you know,
energy,
part of the
the energy
purchasing.
committee did a repurchase and reinstall of the
It-
bulbs up there for energy efficiency.
If they are socketed for traditional bulbs, then yes. But I have not, I've seen them, but I haven't looked at it in that respect. I believe so, but
So we'd have to just get a qualified electrician that just can replace the fixtures that are there with the new wall sconces and the
and
in
put
the
the bulbs
ceiling.
up.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's
Yep.
not, we don't have to run new wire or anything like
As
that.
far
put in
as I
boxes
know,
and-
you don't
Okay.
need to.
There is actually a fairly new electrician in town. I learned, up on Kelly Hill, a guy by the name of Matt.
Corey.
Corey, is it Corey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is he a master? He has to be a master.
Yeah, he's a master.
he's a master.
Looking for work apparently, or, you know, trying to get in.
Yeah, I had him work on my place over there, wiring the generator hookup on it.
Do you want to see if you want to do this?
I can get a hold of him, have him come down and look at
That would be
it. How many fixtures is there? What is there, 6, 8?
There's
I-
quite a few up there.
Is there quite a few?
And that was the
I
wall.
didn't count, did not count.
I'll have to slip in and look at it, see how many there is, and then I'll get a hold of him, have him come down and look at it, give us an estimate on it.
Excellent.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Is there anything, hands up, is there anything that has to be done with the AC as far as wiring goes, where you might do a bundle? I don't know. There was some talk about some AC rewiring or something for the.
Nothing that I've heard. He feels he can tie right into it, what's existing there. So,
Yeah, I think Jake's gonna be able to do all of that. Just wire it right in. The box is right there, so he can just plug right into it with another breaker right there.
anybody else have any questions for Rose or Judy? Okay, so we'll look at the lighting and everything else. Bobby's working on the tree. The AC is scheduled, so we're pretty good shape then, huh?
Excellent, wonderful. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
much.
Good, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Will we see you in 2 weeks? Want me to put you on?
Sure.
It's so nice having you here.
Thank you.
We'll think of something.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good night. Any announcements?
I don't think so.
Anything zoning administrator had no report?
Yeah, no
Not present, no
report.
report. And the planning
Planning
commission?
Commission, yes, we met last Monday. Let me pull up my report. We met last Monday. The zoning administrator, Nancy Morlino, gave us an update. She's attended several meetings of other local towns that are either creating registries or making ordinances about short-term rental housing. The other towns are largely doing this in response to safety concerns. And we were interested in this because the Pawlett Fire Department has also shared those kinds of concerns with the Planning Commission. We also heard from Rick, one of our commissioners, who spoke to the issue from the perspective of a local Airbnb host. So we had some discussion about short-term rental. No decisions were made. We're going to continue this discussion in future meetings. The main thing we did during the meeting was that Ed Bove reminded us, which I knew, that the town plan needs to be updated in 2024. However, what he told us, which I didn't know, was that means the new town plan has to be adopted by February of 2024, which means we have to send out the warnings in December of 2023. I'd had it in my head that we would work on it next year, but that is not going to be the case. So, most of the rest of the meeting was taken up with discussions of what in general we want to change, update, or keep about the town plan, which exists, and what our timeline should be to accomplish this update. We don't have time to apply for any grant funding to have the Regional Planning Commission do this for us, so the Planning Commission will have to do most of the work ourselves, which seems okay since the current plan, which we did in 2016, Ed said it's in pretty good shape. There's a few updates we'll have to make because of new statutes, but largely it will not require a major overhaul as far as we can tell. We think the current plan is strong and a good template. We're going to start looking at specific chapters of the town plan starting next meeting. So, yeah, that's our Planning Commission update.
Any questions? Frank?
And we're gonna have to weave the energy plan into the town plan, apparently. That's something that maybe not be well known.
The town plan, as it currently stands, has an energy chapter, which we may be doing some updating on. The enhanced energy plan, which we've been working on for a while, but have not actually gotten adopted because, right at this point, basically because the state has to come up with some new numbers and it hasn't. So we're kind of waiting on the state. That plan, it sounds like we'll have to wait until after we've done the town plan update. So after that, we can do this enhanced energy plan, but the town plan, which has an energy chapter, really does come first.
Okay. Road foreman's report.
Yes, I've got a
There's
good
been
one
an
here.
update from Dale, too.
Yeah, you can, if you want to start with that one.
So there was an email received this morning about the Towsley Hill Road sign, which I forwarded on, so
saw
Dale
that.
just sent us a message about that. And the report from Dale on that was that it became missing some time ago, and a nice taxpayer took the liberty to make a nice handmade sign as its replacement unit. A new one can certainly be purchased and installed. So that was the story about that, so.
And in regards to what they've been up to, Dale and I have started the process of getting some quotes on trucks for replacing one of the tandems. They've got the majority of the road gravel stockpiled for our summer projects. Grading's 95% complete. They plan to go back and revisit a few spots. Being so dry this spring, they struggled to cut through a bunch of that. I mean, the roads were just so hard, got hard on them quickly. So they're gonna go back and touch a few spots up. The 2008 International, the tandem, has a major exhaust manifold leak, to the point where we're not gonna run it. It's not building any boost. So we're just waiting for Sheldon to come and repair that. And I don't know if it's gasket on the block or between the manifold and the turbo, or exactly where it is. There's just a lot of parts have to be removed to discover it. And in regards to the speed signs, they're gonna have those out this week. And you guys must have discussed last week where they're gonna put those.
So
or-
I met with Dale briefly, and I just told him about the location by the West Pawlett Fire Department. And then I had asked him if, while they are out and about working on the roads, if they're aware of any locations that people are going really fast. And Dale had suggested the Pawlett Rupert Mountain Road, that people go really, really quickly on certain sections of that. So he had suggested there. And so I had there are 3 that need to be put up. So I had said definitely the one by the fire department, and then as long as for now they were town roads, I figured they're out there more frequently than I am, so.
Well, they'll have them up by the end of this week. They've been moving along on the Waite Hill project. They cut a bunch of trees on that corner across from the Spanktown Schoolhouse. So they're getting that prepped, and then they're gonna slate that, probably start within a month, maybe around the 1st of July, on that project. And they're gearing up for roadside mowing, planning to start up within the next couple of weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks. So they've got plenty to do. That's all I've got to offer.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions?
Did they want, I gathered from that, should we ask them to order a new sign for Towsley Hill? Is that a
Yes.
necessary?
The
Yeah,
road,
I think so.
Oh, yeah. They should put something in there that's within regs, you know.
Okay.
Didn't we do an inventory not too long ago of the highway signs? No, there was a
I
discussion.
got lost in the mix.
Keith had that.
Yeah, and
And I think, I go by there quite a bit, and I know Dale said that it was lost some time ago, but I think it's only been in the last, I don't know, couple of months, which I know is a little while, but I don't know.
We'll get one coming.
yeah.
And there's a
If it's-
bunch of other signs that we need to get as well throughout the town.
All right, so that would be good, to get that replaced. Anything else for the road foreman?
The only other thing for the highway department, which I can talk to Dale about, is that there's some grant stuff that we're just gonna have to figure out, how we wanna move forward. We got the letter of intent for the, grants and aid. I think, we're getting $15,000 for that, and we can begin work anytime after July 1st. So just figuring out what projects might be eligible for that. And just making sure we're making use of the funds that we have this year.
So we haven't designated a road that we're gonna use
That's what
that
I'm
on.
unsure of, yeah. Dale very well could have that. I just haven't gotten with him on it.
Yeah, and I don't know, is the plan still going forward with going from, the switch road down to Cole Bridge? Or down to the swamp there to ditch that along that field?
Right along by Ray's.
Yeah, or no, on the blacktop, 153, along your field down through there, coming off Sykes Hall Road. I don't know if that's still in the works, if he's gonna have time to do that or not. I was just curious.
Here, Kristen, that's a.
There's plenty of places he can figure out where he needs to use it the most anyway, so.
I know he is.
That's pretty
planning-
good shot, 15,000, that's pretty good shot
Yeah.
money, so.
It
He is
is.
planning to meet with,
Stephanie?
from the state.
Yep. Yeah, because he had mentioned to me too that there's some like new requirements for our class 4 roadways too, with some updates that will need to be done. So we have time to do it, but he just is actively trying to make sure it's not one of those things that gets left until all of a sudden it's like, oh, we have to do this by the end of the year, So.
Anything from the assessors? Town clerk's memo?
Nothing from Deb, but there's one, she sent me a message, let me just make sure. So there's just one, tobacco license for Apollo Fuel that needs to be approved by the board. Same deal, I think, as the liquor license, there's nothing to sign, it's just needing a motion and approval. The state has redirected approval back to towns effective this year, so there's 2 other locations in town that should be getting those in soon. But for now, it's just Apollo.
Somebody wanna make a motion?
Sure, I'll move that we approve that tobacco license.
Have a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay,
Would you like to read the treasurer's report, please?
love to. So there are 2 warrants this week. Payroll is $9,801.84. Accounts payable is $39,541.04. General fund monies, $23,606.83. Highway fund, $24,222.05. And wastewater fund, $1,514. Julie has contacted the locksmith that rekeyed the library to set up a time for him to do the same at the town hall. We'll update when she has a date. The Mettawee School graduation is June 15th. Will one of the select board members be able to present the Irene Hanfield Award? Submitted by Julie, and the 2 motions are for payroll warrant 23064 and accounts payable warrant 23065. And that's it.
Well, I'll go ahead and move we approve those 2 warrants.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Who wants to go to school on the 15th?
They already asked me, I'm out of town.
Okay.
I suggested Perry.
And she threw me under the bus. I saw that.
You're the newest one. Also, you work in education, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Is that what you call it? Yeah.
Yes.
I would be more than happy to do it though, if you want.
Excellent.
Oh.
Well, thank you very much, Perry.
Yeah, you don't really have to do anything. Just stand up and say, this kid was great here. And this year we're giving them.
At least he gets to give
Give
him
him money
cash.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this year we
Yeah.
get to give them money,
Yeah.
so they're gonna, yeah,
Make them do push-ups.
He'll be a real hero.
Yeah.
they're very cute. I enjoy the graduation. Oh, I guess it probably falls under the town treasurer as well. Julie has sent me a few, those policies that I was talking about last time. Julie has sent me a couple options and I haven't looked at them yet. So hopefully for the next meeting, we'll be able to have some potential, policies regarding town funds to propose.
That's the Emergency Management and Health Officer, first Monday, wastewater treatment. Haven't heard anything,
I haven't either.
haven't seen anything from Jill.
I just have one thing from Jennifer.
Okay.
So after the conversation last time about affordable and accessible housing in West Pawlett, Jennifer reached out to the executive director of the Rutland Habitat for Humanity, and she was wondering if she could have her come and speak about some initiatives that they're working on that might be relevant to the West Pawlett plan on July 11th. So she would be pre-requested, and she had about a 10-minute presentation. So she's requested that that could be on the agenda, and that we'd been going back and forth with email, and I just wanted to throw that out there to all of you.
Anybody have any problems with having her come and speak on that?
Could be useful.
Okay.
You want that to be a select board event or a planning commission and select board event?
Jennifer expressed that, if I may, she expressed wanting it to be at a select board. Members of the planning commission are most welcome to attend, perhaps, but
I do feel that our planning commission meetings are pretty packed.
Yeah.
And we only have an hour and a half, so I would
yeah,
enjoy it better at the select board.
cool. Yeah, I had said that I thought it would be fine, but I just wanted to make sure I threw it up
That's
there.
all
to
good.
of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and sorry, nothing from Jill that I've seen.
Nothing from Jill. What about facilities? Is anybody, the air conditioning, and that's about it, huh? Okay.
It's June 11th?
July,
Okay.
Mettawee School Board is
nothing this
nothing.
week.
Older unfinished bike and pedestrian grant agreement.
All right, I can speak to that. So Rutland Regional Planning Commission has sent us their proposal for managing this grant. This is the one for the sidewalks. And, we just printed off the first 3 pages because it's about a 40-page document. It all seems in order. They're going to manage it for us, much like they've managed previous grants for us. So we just have to sign this 3rd page here. I don't know if this needs a motion or not to accept Rutland Regional Planning Commission as our managers for the Town of Pawlett Village Pedestrian Accessibility Project, but I would make a motion if we need to.
Probably
Yeah.
better if we do.
I'll move that we accept them as our municipal planning managers.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
All right. You wanna sign that there, Mike?
Specific point of contact for the Rutland Regional Planning Commission?
Yeah, it's Stephanie Bork. She's going to be our manager for this project. I haven't worked directly with her before, but I'm sure, I've been in contact with her a bit back and forth, so I'm sure it will be good.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see, today's the 30th day of May. Should I go ahead and scan this later and just send it back to her then?
That'd be great.
I can definitely do that.
Thanks.
And not have this little staple in here.
Slag pile.
Well, so that's gonna come next time.
Okay,
I have to retype it.
okay.
But in the interim, if anybody wants some, the policy is as it was. It just needs to be updated to reflect current contacts.
So then we need to adopt it as an ordinance, or?
Well, so that's up to you all. If you'd like to do it as an ordinance or a policy.
It could just be listed
It
in the
was-
town policy then?
Yeah, it was a memo the last time.
Right, that's why I got lost as a memo, but it
Yeah.
can, if it's an official policy, then it gets stashed.
I've started to type it up. I just ran into some technical difficulties before I arrived here this evening. So, and I decided I would just like take a deep breath and step away. But I had written it out as a policy.
Okay, that sounds reasonable to me. The rest of you feel a policy is appropriate?
Yeah, I think that would
Okay.
be fine. There's probably no reason to officially adopt it until we've
Right.
got the typed up copy.
Right.
But
But, okay. Good. West Pawlett Village Plan, Michael.
Sooner than I expected.
we're just tearing through it.
Tearing through the agenda tonight. Good evening, Michael Allen with Regrowth Planning, also Pawlett resident. I'm here tonight to follow up with the board on the West Pawlett draft plan that we discussed, I think, 2 weeks ago. I've been working on some edits to try and finalize the plan based on some of the comments that we've had. And before we get too far along, I wanted to discuss with the board, if you've had a little bit more time to review any of it, if you have other comments. I know the last meeting we were talking about some of the ideas recommended in the plan, particularly the idea of moving some of that town-owned property south of the quarry back into the private sector and maybe utilizing it with sort of a planned approach toward providing some small-scale housing that would serve mostly local seniors, younger families, rather than just letting it be subdivided to, you know, whoever. But I wanted to get your follow-up on that because I know many of you hadn't had a chance to review things, so. First, I guess, any questions since our last meeting? I'm gonna move up because I feel like I'm in the back of the room here.
Frank?
I've mentioned a few times that property is not that deep, and it's all steep ledge. I don't see it being split up into a housing development project there. To get sewage down there, you have to blast away through all the rock, and there's no topsoil there. It's all ledge. I don't know if you've ever been up there. That's why I'm saying we
Yeah.
need to go there. You need to take a look at it because it really isn't conducive for what you're thinking. On a map, from looking above, you might say, oh yeah, there it is. But when you go up there and you walk it, you realize that it's...
All that woodland is pretty flat up there. We could mow that right off and build houses where the woods are.
Right next to the...
All the woods
quarry-
are pretty flat.
Right next to the quarry hole? That big quarry hole?
There's plenty of room up there. We could build a dozen houses up
Is there
there.
any problems with accessing the site if I were to, I think Frank suggested we take a walk up there.
I think if there was a reason to have access, we could certainly, I mean, there's a lot of options to build adequate access.
No, I just mean I wouldn't mind getting in there and just
look at it.
walking around and not upsetting anybody by walking back around there.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
it's town property. You're
Yeah.
welcome to walk up there.
Okay. I just
I mean,
don't want
the
to anger
thing-
anybody.
The one side, the easterly side of the quarry hole there by the road is privately owned. But once you get up past farther, but he doesn't own any of the woodlot or anything like that that
Right.
goes along with that property. And I mean, yes, it has a pitch to it, but it's not, I don't believe it's such a pitch that it couldn't be developed in a reasonable manner.
I mean, most of West Paulet's on some kind of pitch or other.
Right.
I mean, and it's all kind of right on the ledge, isn't it?
Yeah.
A number of people who hunt have shot their deer on that property. So to develop it might be something, because it wasn't brought up and approved at any of our meetings, that concept.
Right.
All right, and so it hasn't been put out to the town as to whether anybody really would want that property for that. There's other places that possibly might be better.
I did think that was in the plan that was presented at the firehouse, right, Michael?
Yes.
Yeah, so it has been,
He put it in, but it wasn't discussed by any of us at the committee level. He just put it in himself.
well, I mean, the purpose of the committee was to hire Michael to come up with plans.
Right.
So-
Right, with public involvement, but that part of it didn't have public involvement. It was his involvement.
It's all in the conceptual stage anyways. It brings
And my-
attention to the value of that property.
point-
That's exactly
the
a
point
great
was-
thing to do.
The point was to raise the question, should the town consider this? And I felt that was a fair question.
It's a very good
You might-
question.
You might be right about the geologic conditions of the site and the difficulties, but I wanted to at least raise the question.
So what are you thinking, to the town to sell it to a contractor, or an
Somebody to-
investor, and then
to
have them
develop
do
it.
it all?
Well, what I would recommend is that the town first figure out what you might like to have there first, rather than just have a developer do whatever they want with it.
Well, yeah, set all the
I'd like to
ordinances and the plans for
Maybe
it.
come up with I think some sort of a idea plan that would maybe be applied to that property through a special zoning provision that would say, we're looking for smaller cottage buildings, small lots, so it's not going to, I guess, higher income, but something small scale that would fit in with the community, that might be tailored more toward more affordability. And if possible, it would be great if this could tie into the wastewater treatment plant, so we would get some more user fee generation from that. I don't know if the ledge creates a problem for that, but at least set the tone for what we would like to see there, and then maybe open it up
Well,
to.
that would be the only thing that would make sense if it was gonna be tied into the
Yeah.
sewer. Otherwise, it's just,
But I mean, rather than just let it get developed willy-nilly, come up with a plan for what you think would be fitting for West Pawlett there, and then maybe open it up to private development at that point, as long as they would be willing to do what we've set aside, so.
yeah, we'd have to set the standards for it.
Yeah, because otherwise I feel that the property's, it's a nice field from what I can tell from the aerials, but it's not doing the town any good, and
No tax revenue.
there's no tax revenue, the town needs housing. This seems to kill two birds with one stone possibly, so I wanted to raise the issue.
and if we opened it up to purchase, I mean, the possibilities are that a developer might purchase multiple lots and develop some of them and then sell off the houses that they built, or individual people might purchase the lots and then build their own homes on them. I don't know if you have a sense of what might be more likely.
Not more likely, but what I've started to do in the draft is provide some examples of similar kind of developments that I think might be, kind of case studies for how it might work, because I feel that setting up some sort of boundaries for what you'd like to see there would be very important, and so I've added some of that to the plan.
Frank?
I stood up and mentioned this at the town meeting, is that we were working on this type of thing, and that you have market forces at play. And anytime you put a piece of property up, it's a bid basis. And you could have somebody come in with a large amount of money and still blow out the low income affordable housing thing, unless you subdivide it yourself into the smaller lots, and then you put conditions to those lots relative to the design, which you can do in a planning mode. You can plan for this type of thing so it's done correctly, and so it will be attractive for the low to medium income affordable housing concept that the state really wants as a goal to allow for this. and where somebody with a larger amount of cash could go up and buy a bunch of lots and essentially locate a dwelling and still have, so this is not something that it should be subdivided first.
Yes, this is a conceptual plan, Frank. We're not even close to even going anywhere on that, so it's just, this is an idea, instead of having this property just sitting there doing nothing, let's look into the options that this property holds for us to better the town. So I think that was a great thing to bring up, Michael. Harley?
I was a member of the affordable housing group in Norwich, Vermont, and talk about a non sequitur. And there was property there that had 13 homes on it that was protected in perpetuity to be affordable. I don't know how they did that, but your idea about seeing what happened around the state and seeing what mechanisms to prevent the unaffordable, defeating the purpose of what we're thinking. So I think there's mechanisms in play. And then also what backfired in Stowe, they built small affordable houses. They were bought by out of state and for large amounts of money. And that was an example of something backfired.
Just in general regarding the plan, I do want to point out that, everything in this plan, none of it is binding on the town to do anything in particular. It's a conceptual work, right? And I know there was some question about this last meeting, so I went back and I looked through our agreement with Michael and our grant and everything. And there is nothing in it about the select board having to vote on this plan.
Right.
It's that we voted initially to do this grant to hire Michael to make a plan. And if we do want to incorporate any elements from this in our upcoming town plan, capitalized town plan, at that point, it goes through the whole process of being warned, going through the public comments and the public meeting and all of that. But as of right now, I think, if I read it rightly, Michael, you just needed to present it to the planning commission and the public. That was what it said in our agreement.
Correct, at least as far as our relationship.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give more presentations if necessary, but what you decide to do with the plan from that point forward is up to you.
And we also need to submit it to the state, because they gave us the money for the grant and they want to see what we came up with. But they're not going to do anything with it either, other than look at it and say, yes, you did something with your grant money, good job.
We did what we said we were going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we can show it, if we do decide to do things that are in this plan going forward, which I know Michael has mentioned, it's a great resource for us to be able to get future grant money, because we can say, look, it's in this plan, and we already thought about it, and we went through a public process and all this good stuff.
That part of the plan on the development, I think, could be broadly worded, that West Pawlett would be looking to expand to available lands in the plan with eye towards affordable housing size lots, and tone it down and not define it to a certain place.
You're recommending
Because there's other places.
Keep it vague so that you have more flexibility in how.
And there's other places. There's a woman out in Spruce Gum, she says she has 24 acres there, and she's not gonna ever do anything with it, but she would sell. So if the state had money, grant money, could go in and acquire that, that's flat, and you could go in, boom, septic out there, bam, bam, and you're good.
Does anybody else have any questions for Michael in regard to the plan? Do we feel we need to have him come back again, or I think that pretty much he can go ahead and make his final version from everybody's feeling on that?
Yep, as far as I'm concerned. And
I'm willing to keep working on it as needed, because I want to make sure that town is happy and the residents of West Pawlett are happy with it. I think for the purposes of the grant, we have to, I think at the end of this month, say, okay, we're done. We can still keep tweaking things if we need to. That's fine.
yeah, when we don't want to, I don't want to make Michael work unpaid, and he has to submit his final invoices by the end of this month to Julie.
So he needs to wrap this up. What you found, you've done a great job gathering a lot of information. You've taken into consideration a lot of aspects of the town that could grow and change and stuff like that. You've brought that all to life. So everything right here is at least there. You know, if may not necessarily go the exact direction that you came, but it brought all this stuff to the surface so that we're thinking of it. And I think it's very, very useful and beneficial for future growth. And
That's the idea.
thank you.
Here, here, I agree. Money well spent. Did a great job.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us again tonight, Michael.
No problem, thank you.
Computers.
So Deb also, when Vinny was pricing out computers for the highway department, Deb also asked for a price for the constable, because I guess the constable had talked to her about also needing or wanting a computer for town business. So Vinny reached out to me and said, it looks like he can get touchscreen laptops for both the town garage and the constable for right around $1,100 each, with a real good chance of a $100 discount with a municipality discount. So,
I think we should order them.
yeah, I didn't know where we
It's
were
pretty
with the
difficult to
budget.
do anything today without it.
Yeah,
And if we,
And that's a reasonable price.
yeah, I'd say so. I wasn't sure when he had first reached out about the constables. I wasn't aware that they had asked, so I was curious as to where that came from, but he said Deb had inquired, so.
I mean, I don't know, the prices of everything today seem crazy, but
Do they make a heavy-duty version? Like a durable one?
That's what I had asked for when he was pricing out the one for the highway department. I said they need something that can be like, you know,
Like,
work
rough and
ready.
tumble, like
like
rubber
stuff, you know, you get
sides.
a tough book, like it's
Yes.
it's just a
That
durable.
price doesn't say durable to me.
Oh, it does. It
Does
sounded
it?
like it was a little ruggedized.
Okay.
Not tough buck, because you pay for a brand name there, but it does sound like, that price sounds a little bit ruggedized, but check to make sure it's kind of ruggedized.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I don't know how rugged touchscreen things are, but I also don't know a ton about.
I mean, all of our phones are touchscreen and they can be fairly rugged. I've dropped this one a whole bunch of times.
That's true. I definitely don't
Yeah.
take too much care with mine. Okay. Well,
Somebody wanna make a motion, or?
I'll make a motion that we purchase them.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
okay. As I say that, my computer just froze.
I told you.
I know.
Don't even.
Classic. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Turned around and it already went over.
Did you second that?
No,
New
I think-
business?
I think Bob did.
Sure.
Oh, I had a question. That other email that was forwarded to us that seemed to pertain to a legal matter, does Meryl know
Nonsense.
about that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I sent that to her this morning, and she said there's no documents that substantiate any of that claim. No paperwork had
That's
been.
how it struck me as well. I mean, normally when people have official things, they send you a certified letter.
Yeah.
Not an email.
It was
Okay.
all, she said, that I guess I can show you, I sent it to,
Well, if Meryl says it's no big deal, I trust Meryl implicitly. She knows what she's talking about.
Can the library have old computers that
What do you
become
mean?
surplus?
Sure can. You go right up to the town garage. You can have that one there.
I don't know if you want that.
Is there one up there?
Yeah, there's a laptop up there.
Yeah, there is. It's
Is it any
well
good?
seasoned.
Is it beat up, or is it just doesn't work?
Serial number 1.
You know, I don't know though. You could probably
Probably could clean it up and
Yeah,
it
you
would
could
work.
probably wipe it out and
with Linux on it.
Use it? What'd you, oh boy.
It's just not gonna be very fast, it's old, but then he could probably clean that right up and it would work, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if the library had a use for it, there's no reason, I wouldn't see a reason for them not to use it.
Harley's writing down now.
Does the library want old computers?
I think we upgraded recently and got rid of some, and that was before.
Seems counterintuitive for the
Yeah.
desire
It
for
just seems
old ones.
like, it might be handy, and before they get trashed, wanna ask other people who don't just dumpster dive for a living.
I will keep
So,
you in
so is it
mind.
free and available up there now? Is that what it is? Or
No, it's still in
No.
use.
Still in use?
Yeah.
Don't go take the computer.
What
You're gonna
model-
be in the-
What make is it?
Listen. Simmer
Dell?
down.
I think it's a Toshiba.
Toshiba?
It's,
64-bit, do you know? If it's anything.
Brush the
if it's-
dust off
If
it
it's
to
below
see.
64-bit, they have a recycling thing up in Rutland. You can take all your electronic stuff to anytime. It has to be 64-bit.
okay.
It'll usually say it on a sticker on it.
Mine's an i5 7th gen. That's what my sticker says.
Is there any more new business? It turns out that I just got a voicemail from Meryl, so we may need to go into executive session. I'm trying to connect with her via text.
Oh, I thought you were sharing with us your finding.
Well, I was looking for her response, and then I saw that I had a voicemail at 10 minutes to 7.
I have,
So
I think I have it if you'd like. Did you send it to me? There was a response from Meryl that indicated that this person was spoken to some time ago, and that this position would not be considered without accompanying papers,
Okay.
and of which there are none, seemingly, so.
All right.
That's the update on that.
I guess we're waiting.
Yeah. We went too quickly through the agenda.
I'm gonna go scan this while we're waiting.
Which project was this for?
hi Meryl, this is Mike. Well, we're at a meeting right now, so if you would be available to.
Yeah, Switch Road on the 153 end.
Hi,
And they
Meryl.
Sorted some material while they were waiting between trucks.
No, understandable. We're actually just finishing up a meeting. Would you be available to join us Zoom?
I wonder if Julie will be curious.
Okay, well,
She said that that's what was left available for that project.
yes, it should be. Or do you want me to send it to you?
Item that was available.
She'll know.
Yeah, Kristen will send it right out to you. Can you send her the Zoom link?
Three things that people come.
Kristen will shoot it right out to you, and, yes, I heard part of it, and a little bit of it I didn't hear quite clearly, but it just one, okay. Right? So, but I believe we're on track for that, but we'll go into an executive session as soon as you, click on, and we'll figure it out, okay? Thank you.
Come forward.
Okay. Thank you.
She should have it.
Is there any other new business? Is there any public comment? Frank?
Got a question, Jessica, on the building stuff, phase 2. Do we have architectural drawings of this building or the library? And some of the other criteria that they were requiring for phase 2?
I suspect there is somewhere. Ask Karen Folger. She would know about this building, and as far as the library goes, I probably got I don't know, Marty.
And also a maintenance scheduled plan, you have a book on maintenance that you keep a log or something? They want to know some stuff that bigger places might deal with, but we don't deal with it.
Probably not. There's probably no log. You just have to go back in the checkbook and see.
I think Sue's got a log in here for this building here.
Is there a log?
I think she
Nothing
knows.
that I've
She
ever-
did say something about that.
Oh, so Sue probably
And I
knows.
just haven't gotten with her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Who has it?
Sue Laporte. I'll have to check with her. I don't-
Jessica, we might have two of those items that I questioned on the email for the phase 2 of the,
Also, I'm not sure that we need to get a phase 2 in, building inspection done. That would only be if we wanted to take out loans. I wouldn't see that we'd want to take out loans, we're aiming for the grants. So, that was my thought on that.
yeah,
But
but
we're not
there,
there yet, they haven't put out the applications for
the
these.
email from Barb seemed to be pushing that phase 2 was next and that so that's why I was thinking that. All right. But we got it anyways, hopefully.
Okay. Anybody else have any public comment? All right, we're
Motion to go into executive session?
I'll second that.
second that motion.
To
All in favor?
Discuss ongoing
Legal.
Yeah, on current litigation, I guess, whatever. It's pertaining to 541 Briar Hill, so.
Oh!
Or is always pertaining to that.
So Bob made the motion.
I don't know who seconded it. I'll second it. Harry seconded it.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.